So it's Good Friday today, and it's just gone about 4:15. This lovely old girl. Hey, Mum. She's just enjoyed a bit of vanilla slice, haven't you? That's how we met. She was one of 6 original ewes that we had, all a bit wild, and one day I had some Anzac biscuits with me, which are sort of biscuits with rolled oats and golden syrup. Okay, Chuck? And she stepped forward and took an Anzac biscuit from me and enjoyed it immensely, and from that point onwards we were pretty firm friends, whereas the other 5 girls really never wanted anything much to do with me. But I've spent the afternoon working on this particular section here and removing the African thistle. You can see it all sitting on the road here, of the same level as it is in this section. So that'll be the next bit. Nowhere near as bad as over there, which is it's quite a job. But here, in about 3 hours, it's managed to all come out. And what I've also been able to do, good boy Chuck, is as I'm working, start to maneuver the rocks into place. So the rocks to line the road up to the far corner, which is immensely satisfying, I have to say, moving rocks. There's some that are just absolute, literal backbreakers. But you can see how, kind of like playing Tetris, it would just fit so nicely in that section if I could move it. But I'll have to wait for Mark to maybe come up and see if we can wrangle that one together. Another one there. But yeah, it comes together pretty quickly, and I'm also starting to add, so as I find smaller rocks, just add them to this section here. This will be just a job that's ongoing. So I don't think for a moment that the thistle is completely out of this section and that it won't grow back. I'm not that naive, but because it grows from a rhizome, as I've said before, so the rhizome is still sitting in the soil, and to the extent that it is, it can grow back from that. But it's better than nothing. Probably goes without saying that this is not a job you can do in the summer because of snakes, moving rocks, and putting fingers around the base of rocks, etc. Wouldn't be a smart move in summer. This is why, if I can help it, I don't want to be using chemical weed control on this place, as I'm digging up a lot of these African thistle. But I think this applies equally to sort of anything I dig up. You often find that the earthworms are really wrapped in close to the roots of the plant, as well as a bunch of other stuff. Little bugs and beetles and fungi and whatever else, so little spiders. Beetle there. And this process no doubt disturbs them, and of course, kills them sometimes if you strike them, but I think it's the least most invasive way to remove these weeds whilst preserving whatever is living in the soil here. So this area here is fast becoming a new paddock in which we'll be able to either keep the sheep out so we can control the growth of some pasture in here, or indeed lock them in here occasionally while other things are happening. It's obviously not finished yet, but it'll be a wire fence along the back, and we'll go up on the diagonal up behind the eucalypt there, which is just the most magnificent tree, maybe 300 years old. We'll keep stock off the base and maybe plant some wildflowers in there, just to protect the tree a bit and make sure the ground is not becoming too compacted and risking the health of the tree. And also we need to stop a bit of erosion in the driveway there. But we get good pasture down here, so I think they wouldn't mind being in this paddock. Be about an acre in size, I think, which would be plenty big enough for 3 or 4 sheep, which is the target number we probably want to have on an ongoing basis, particularly when those 3 or 4 sheep are rotated around different paddocks, and that would be the idea. So they're in a paddock to graze it down by about, I don't know, half, a third, and then move to another paddock. Nothing better than hearing sheep graze. At least I think so. So I managed to get a fair bit done yesterday. Got all the thistle out of this section, and in the process of doing so, a fair bit of stones moved into position as well. It's about 6:15 in the morning here. Moon's still bright in the sky. The sun is not quite up yet, but soon. So what I'll do this morning is perhaps start on this next side. There's not too much here. Do the same here. What I'm really trying to do is keep it off this side because obviously there's a lot of it there, particularly in that section. If you go a bit further up, it's not so much. Over this ridge here, it's not so much, but particularly through here, it's very thick. But on this side, not anywhere near as much. Sheep are enjoying a morning feed of blackberry. Not you, Mum? You're not hungry? Right, let's get to work. I've got most of it out to the point up to where we meet the driveway here. Got this section out, a bit more to do up there. Seems to be actually growing around where rocks have been disturbed, and it's obviously loosened the soil. So it's kind of almost growing in under the rocks, which means you have to move those rocks in order to actually get the rhizome and dig the bulk of it out. But the sun's up now. Sheep are still up with me. I put a bit of bark on a moment ago. I forget which symphony it is. I think it's called sheep grazing, something like that. As it happens, my sheep didn't think much of it. They walked away from it. Came back when I turned it off. Have a rest. Try and get this section out here. I'm gonna make some coffee. Hey, Mum, you can come say hello. It's funny when you construct new features like this wall here, it takes them a moment to, hey Mum, takes them a moment to become accustomed to it. They're not quite sure about it. It's the same with the fence down the front. It's a beautiful morning. I'd say it's about 15 degrees. Good to see she's putting on a bit of weight now. She's definitely dried off. Lambs are weaned. They're going into sort of mid-autumn now, which means the grass won't grow super well or fast, but there's plenty of green pick around for them now, and it'll just get better from this point.